Hello, everyone. I am so happy and proud to present to you a dear friend of mine. I've known Nadia Atif for many years, and she really got interested into laughing yoga. And I was interested in it, and I tried it out only to find out that I really felt much better and how that affects the mental health. So Nadia, if you could explain to us, what is yoga, laughing yoga? What is it about?
Laughter yoga is one way in which we can use our breath to really heal ourselves. And since we breathe from the minute we come into this world, you think it's very simple, but most of us are breathing shallow. We breathe from up our chest. That creates stress without even realizing it. You'll notice if you're sad, you're hunched over, you're breathing from here, and tension is always built up from here. On the contrary, what we're saying is, do like the babies do. When they're born, they're breathing absolutely perfectly. They're breathing from all their stomach, and it fills all the way out. And you can see their stomach rising and the chest rising, and then it goes out. That's why they're so happy. Kids laugh 400 times a day. How many times do you
maybe
laugh?
that's why they're sort of depressed free or anxious free.
Exactly. They're
I mean,
playful.
if they don't get the milk, they just scream out, and then they get what they want, and then that gets enough oxygen into their system. But I was just wondering, how does it really laughing yoga really helps anxiety and mental health and depression? How does it, how does that work?
Well, our body is just nothing but chemical elements always working together to communicate all the messages it needs to for the cells to keep renewing themselves and for all your body to keep functioning. Well, what chemistry are we dealing with when we're really depressed? Something like serotonin, dopamine imbalance. We're dealing with the oxytocin, which is the happy enzymes being released, and so forth. And so what do we do when we breathe properly? When we breathe from our diaphragm, moving this, that's the muscle that we have to rediscover. Children already have it, but we rediscover it and breathe in deeply, and then fill our chests and our bodies. If we want to be good runners, if we want to be happy, etc., is always keep breathing from your stomach. Another way, of course, is just wear a smile on your face. The body does not know the difference between a smile that you're putting on artificially and one that is actually coming on because you are smiling. And that's because your mind is not controlling that. These muscles somehow give the messages immediately to the chemical release, the oxytocin.
Yeah.
And you can also do that for yourself. Laugh. It's
so
easy. Yeah, there you are. You're laughing. This is the beauty. And notice, now I'd like everybody to put their hands on their belly and just laugh. Just say, ha, 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 ha. Isn't the belly, ha, ha, ha. Now notice your belly was bouncing. It's not up here. You're not saying ha, 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 and this bounces. It's your belly bounces.
It's under.
That's the point.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And the more we use that, that beautiful breathing in our stomach, the more we are releasing stress. And it's just amazing.
You're right,
so
because
simple.
It is so simple. With just a smile and the impact of that, and how that supports actually you're having anxiety that gets in the way of the quality of life you live, and just smile, I suppose, and that will help you deduct that anxiety with the skills and knowledge of how to work through your anxiety, coupled with the smile and the laughter. I suppose that would really take you a long way in improving the quality of your life. Yeah.
Because that's really what we're responsible for, the quality of our life, and we're responsible to take care of the gift that was given to us, which is our body and the way it operates. Most of the time, we are inhabiting our body and we have no idea what it's doing. We're too busy thinking our way through life. And so, yes, I could learn 1,000,001 things and a lot of therapies and all that stuff. It's all mental. And then I try to apply it from the mental. It's stressful because, again, scientifically speaking, the most amazing thing they found out is that the most messages that are given to your body is from your heart. It's from your heart. It goes up to your mind, and then your mind gives it out, whereas the mental ones are much less. So it's not, you can't force with a mental thought an emotion, but an emotion can switch entirely the chemistry of your body, that you wind up being able to think much more positively.
That's interesting, and how you actually put it together and how it actually works. But can you go into more details? How does laughing yoga really, practice? How do you practice it when you're giving a class? How does it go?
Well, actually, it did start with a physician. He was very frustrated that his patients were, yes, responding to drugs very slowly, but not fully. And he realized stress is one of the greatest problems. Mainly most of our stresses are psychosomatic. They're stress related. So he said there must be a better way. And he started studying all the researchers that were coming out from the major universities like Harvard, Stanford, etc., books that have been written, etc. And he found that it was laughter. Everybody kept pointing to laughter. Keeping a smile on your face is one way when you're addressing anything stressful. And another is just to laugh, even on your own. When you're brushing your teeth, laugh. When you're washing your hair, laugh. If
Amazing,
you're really
meaning
upset with any situation, yeah, just ha
that's
ha
really
ha ha.
amazing. Yeah, it kind of substitutes for medication, which I'm not very hot with, but it actually helps to reduce taking some stressful medication or any of that.
It does. Well, look, I had a personal experience. I lost somebody very dear to me, who was with me all my life, actually, my brother. And I knew no matter how many things I'd been doing in yoga and all kinds of different paths that I've been following and all that, so I knew I was going to go hit rock bottom. And somebody suggested laughter yoga, and I said, "You're kidding? I'm so stressed out right now, and I'm so upset. What laughter yoga?" They said, "Just watch these videos and listen to the doctor himself." And I did, and I said, "Well, what do I lose? I'm already down." And once I started this, and I found it was effective, because I'm usually a bit skeptic, I've got doctorates and master's degrees in so many different areas. I've been working as an expert all my life. I'm retired now, but it's just, my mind was controlling a lot of my belief systems and my values and how I looked at life. But when I started the laughter yoga, I found myself clearing out of that real deep pit of sadness and depression. And I swore that I have to share it with friends. And I did. I went and I studied it, got a degree for at least, sharing laughter yoga sessions. And I do that just with friends. And they all keep saying, "Oh,
Totally
I was
amazing.
full of
Yeah,
aches and pains, and
yeah,
now it's gone." Or another one was
yeah.
saying, "I really couldn't get myself out of that depressed hole, no matter what I was doing and drugs I was taking. And now I've got projects and I'm doing this and I'm doing that." So, it wasn't only me. It's lovely. It's lovely to be able to help each other. And
Yeah,
so,
and it's
yes.
so complimentary. I mean, it's interesting because I do know that your PhD degree is on anthropology, and here you're reconnecting with people at a different level, a different, still there's an interpersonal connection with people as you connect with them with laughter and making them feel happy, and I know that your dissertation was on Egyptian jokes, which for me, when I found that out, I was fascinated,
It
totally
was on.
fascinated.
Well, I was fascinated too. I was actually studying tribal behavior, which is what anthropologists should do. But then the situation, the tribes I was studying, they came under military control. I'm from Egypt, and I was doing it there in the deserts. And so I looked around and I said, what else? What else can I see that really where people are speaking their pain and getting out of it? And I noticed that we are in Egypt, we love to laugh, but it's jokes because it's a performance. It's a mini performance. So there's psychodrama in it, and there's release of tension with the punchline, and everybody gets to laugh, which means community. And the best thing is, when you can have a community, you get out of things faster. When you laugh, you're already getting out of it, and so forth. I didn't know all that background. What I knew is it worked. And we were having a rough time in Egypt at that time because it was the last few years of Gamal Abdel Nasser, and we had lost the war and all these kinds of situations. And humor was at its best. So I started collecting
People actually immediately
Mm.
went into jokes so they could laugh
Exactly.
and calm
Exactly.
down the anxiety
Exactly.
and the stress that comes along with war.
Yeah.
That is truly fascinating.
It's folk knowledge, it's folk healing, it's
Wow.
people healing themselves together. You know, because you're not going to tell yourself a joke. You have to, if you say it to one person, and as you do, you get into it. You have to get into it. Otherwise, it's going to be boring if I just tell you a joke with this kind of monosyllable. It doesn't work, you know. So you're acting it out, and when you get to the punchline, you really give it, and you're already sort of smiling in a bit. It works miracles. And so,
And
yeah, they
that's
heal each
from
other that way.
a social, bigger sort of perspective. So when you're
Yeah.
looking at an individual,
Yeah.
how do you actually take a person and have them laugh and bring up their mood? How do you do that? Can you just show us a little example? And maybe we could all laugh with you. So let's start.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. All right. So let's do the following.
Okay.
Wear a smile at the current moment. You know, sit up straight a little bit so that your stomach is free to be able to laugh. And we will start just pretending we're laughing, okay? And we'll go very gradually. It's called gradual laughter. And it's an exercise. And so you go very gradually, very softly, and it will get louder and louder. I will move my hand upwards so you can accelerate as I'm accelerating. You don't have to move your hand. Just watch
So I just want
and come
everybody
along with.
I want everybody
Yes.
that's watching this clip to actually join us and give it a
Okay.
try. So here we go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, straight back, release the stomach. You're going to start breathing from your stomach simply by saying ha, ha, ha. Okay, so let's begin, and then you'll see what will happen. Ha,
Okay.
ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Louder. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha.
It works. That is so funny. It actually works.
Oh my God.
Really? I didn't.
I can't stop laughing, my dear. It's fun joining you into your laughter. It's beautiful. So can you imagine when you're laughing with somebody?
Yeah.
That's it. It's so.
Well, I hope everybody joined us and just experienced the same seconds we had with laughter therapy. This is so much fun. Wow.
And that's only one of the exercises, you know. There are plenty of exercises, yeah, and that's what
How long does it take for someone to really lift up their mood, you know, with these exercises? You know, does it take an hour of yoga laugh therapy or months, or what's your opinion on that?
Well, to lift the mood, to switch, in other words, to your body for the chemicals to start releasing, it's within the first 7 to 10 minutes of laughing. Okay. Oh. For you to really feel the effects, you need to go on for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes of laughter yoga is equivalent to 40 minutes of aerobics. Oh, that's wow. How much breath you are. Yes. Wow. That's how much. Because when you're laughing, you're pulling in oxygen with your inhale, but you're exhaling more. Ha, 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 you see? And the exhale is what's healing you because you're getting rid of the carbon dioxide that is mounting up in your lungs. And that's stress. Wow. You see, so that's one of the stresses. And
how that all works, it's all chemical. Chemistry, yeah, in the chemical part of the head and your stress and your anxiety, you could come down, you know, with this, yes. And I suppose that you work on your mood by laughing, and then you also work on your skills, knowing how to deal with the anxiety, you know, and knowing how to deal with the anxiety is just as important as knowing how to deal with the chemistry in your body.
Absolutely. The two are complementary. Yeah. They're complementary. Yeah. And if you want to accelerate, you see, you can know a lot of things, but sometimes you don't really know how to apply it, you know, and you try different ways. But when you do laughter yoga, which is so innocent, you become the child in you become playful, you become joyous. Yeah. And why? Why do you do all that? Because the chemistry is shifting, because you're releasing your happy enzymes. Your happy enzymes act on your parasympathetic nervous system. So instead of you being in stress, depression, and feeling down, which is your sympathetic nervous system, you are balancing and eventually coming centered in the power of you, instead of the power of your chemistry, the power of your chemistry being really solidified. Your parasympathetic nervous is that which puts you in the mode of release, relax, and restore.
Wow.
So that's exactly what happens. So so the laughter is not a joke. It's not a joke in the sense of that it doesn't have an effect. The laughter is that it immediately interacts with the chemistry in your body. Your chemistry of your body starts
It's so
moving.
biological.
15 minutes. Exactly. 15 minutes of it is good enough. Half an hour is excellent. The sessions I do with my friends usually, we have a warm up to begin with, and then we go straight into it. And all of that is part of it. And we're just full of bounce and love and laughter, and we just enjoy it for about 40 minutes. And that it keeps us for the whole week, actually. Usually it's better to do it on yes.
It just kind of
definitely
stays with you for that long. Wow.
Oh, yes.
You could share with us, Nadia, and I was wondering if people could actually practice laughing yoga on their own, and how could they do that? What are some tips you could sort of share with us if they want to do it on their own? I mean, can it be, or you have to have an instructor?
No, you don't have to have an instructor, but you have to know what these exercises are. Then you can go on and do them on your own, at your own pace. You can do slow, more meditative type of laughter yoga. You can do much faster. You can do dancing. You can do singing with it. There's a lot of clapping. There's a lot of, if you're in a group, there's a lot of eye-to-eye contact, which is, say, eyeballing each other. It's not about touching, but it's about really releasing. The cases that have had really marvelous also healing properties related to them was cancer. I wouldn't have thought that cancer could respond, but apparently it does. They've got plenty of evidence of cancer cases that have healed just by watching funny videos, laughing a lot while they're in the hospital beds. They're using it now in hospitals in the States. They're using it in old age homes. They're using it in schools, especially for disabled kids. They're using it, and not just in the States now, it's all over the world.
Yeah, very fascinating. Even when you're sick and you have cancer, I mean, I can't even imagine what one goes through when you're struggling with this illness, or a lot of illness that are very difficult to go through, either the pain or the fear that goes with it, and the anxiety and the depression that comes with it. And here, even if you introduce laughter therapy, which is induced laughter, how powerful that could be. And I think, as you said, there's so much.
It's amazing. I mean, time and again, right? Sorry to interrupt you. Yes, time and again, I see testaments that people who've had really very debilitating. First of all, if you have diabetes of any sort, it disappears after a while. It's that fast in its activity. It's like if you change your nutrition, it helps. It's the same thing. If you change your so-called moods, it's not really moods, it's your chemistry. Then you've got it under control. So the testaments are amazing. I mean, some of them, while they're going to go and have their radio therapy or their chemotherapy, it's usually stressful, and you're sitting in the car, you're upset, etc. No, they laugh all the way, and they get there and they laugh, and the people are just looking at them and say, "Well, what you're laughing at?" They say, "Well, we're supporting you in healing us," and they do. And they always have these instant remissions, which is amazing. But it's excuse me. I wouldn't generalize and say everyone has cancer has to go into laughter yoga. But it is one of those tools that costs you nothing. You don't have anything to lose, and it's in your hands, and you can do it whenever you want. We suggest that when people wake up in the morning, first thing in bed, of course, usually you should be grateful that you were able to open your eyes, that you were able to breathe, that you're able to have your hands available to you, you're thinking. So beginning with a gratitude kind of mode of thinking, you start to laugh. While you're in bed, while you're relaxed, just laugh a bit, you can then pat your body down to activate the energies, and then come up with a smile. and walk in, do your routine of the morning with a smile on your face. That's how you get going.
Well,
And
I
then
think
whenever
that's a
you're very
good
stressed,
idea. You know, when I get up, the first thing I could think of is my coffee. But I should, you know,
well, that's it.
yeah,
Laugh
I
at
should
that
really
thought.
try.
You say,
Yeah,
"Oh, I want my coffee. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Come on, let's go." You know, just you playing with yourself. Be the child again. Allow yourself. You know, adults don't laugh. They laugh at most 7 times, 5 times a day, if lucky. It's sad,
yeah,
and usually they only laugh when permitted. In other words, somebody said something funny, so we all have to laugh. You know, it's not they're laughing spontaneously like children. And
yeah.
that's the point, is to go back to that which God gave you, or whatever you believe your entities, where it came from. That's it. You've come already programmed to be happy
As you
that
said, you've
way.
got to sit down and create a situation. You know, you're in bed, you wake up, instead of thinking coffee, you know, think of laughter. You know, you've got
Yeah.
to be conscious of it and actually practice it. Because in
Yes. And
our
what about
stressful
catching
life,
yourself?
yeah,
Mm,
in our stressful life, it's kind of very hard to connect with people, especially now with COVID. You know, we could, you know, we don't see as many people as we used to. We don't connect as much as we used to, and we're sort of more away from social life. So I think all for the more we need to do that. We need to sort of remind ourselves and laugh for the sake of it. Just laugh, you know,
absolutely. And it's not
and get the
really, it's
benefit.
not. Yeah, and it's not either or. For example, when you're saying, my first thoughts are always of coffee. So good. As soon as you think of coffee, say, aha, I got you thought. I know you want to think of coffee. We're going to get there. But first, let's laugh,
Okay.
and let's laugh all the way to the coffee. So
Okay.
you incorporate coffee in anything stressful. I mean, laughter in anything that's stressful. You're at work and it's getting to be too heavy, etc. Wear a smile. Immediately wear a smile, stretch, and start breathing from your stomach. Even if it's silent laughter, nobody's seeing it, just laugh. And
Forget,
you're on your typewriter
forget
or
what
whatever you're doing.
other colleagues are thinking of you, but just do it. It's good for mental health, right?
Just do it. Exactly. Yeah. And if people look at you like that and say, try it, you'll like it, it will work. So there's so many situations in which you can release your stress immediately. Or as soon as you feel stress mounting, know that you're breathing wrong.
Yeah.
You're breathing from your chest. So as soon as you know that, say, I'll breathe from my stomach. I breathe from my stomach, and keep breathing from your stomach. The deeper you breathe in, the better it is. Already your chemistry shift. Wear a smile. You're accelerating the benefits. Laugh, you've got it made. You
Wow.
see?
Yeah.
And then,
Well,
yes, there are
definitely put
exercises.
that in
That's why,
mind.
people join.
Yeah, I'll
It's,
definitely put it in
it's
mind.
unbelievable.
And I really want to thank you for your
Well, I
time
would have been,
and sharing
thank you. I
all
would
this
have been a big
information.
skeptic. I would have been oh, thank you.
Yeah, you
Sorry, I
would
keep
have,
breaking
you
in because
know,
it's just
yeah.
lovely being with you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you so
just,
much for joining me and giving me all this time and knowledge, and I hope that our viewers would really get a lot out of that. And if you have any questions, write them down, and share your thoughts so we could sort of carry on with the dialogue and have your questions answered, because I'm sure that it's a new, I mean, I don't know if it's new science, but it's probably not. I mean, it's old science because we always laugh, but we didn't know the impact of it. So as we know the impact of it, we got to sort of apply it and practice it in our lives. Thank you so much, Nadia, really, truly. And hope
thank
you
you
can
for
join
having
us.
me. And
Yeah, I hope you join us
yeah,
again, for maybe Q&A or something in the next time. Okay. Thank you so much,
well,
my dear.
if anybody wants, we can even have a session one time that way after our question and answer,
Hey,
session. We
that's
can just do a
great.
little mini
A
laughter
little
yoga if they
mini
want to get a
session,
taste of
Zoom
it.
mini session, Zoom mini
That's
laughing yoga. I think that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you
yes.
so much.
Oh,
I'll
thank
see
you.
you then. Bye.
Hugs and kisses to you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.